Julius Excluded from Heaven is a dialogue that was written in 1514, commonly attributed to the Dutch humanist and theologian Desiderius Erasmus. It involves Pope Julius II, who had recently died, trying to persuade St. Peter to allow him to enter heaven by using the same tactics he applied when alive. The dialogue is also supplemented by Genius, who makes wry comments about the Pope and his deeds. Plot. The dialogue begins with a drunken Pope Julius II trying to open the gate of heaven with the key to his secret money chest. He is accompanied by his genius, his guardian angel. Behind him are the soldiers who died in his military campaigns, whom he promised would go to heaven regardless of their deeds. Peter denies him passage, even when Julius threatens him with his army and papal bulls of excommunication, and questions him about his deeds on earth. Julius then goes into a lengthy explanation of his deeds and justifies his sins, ranging from simony to pederasty, with the fact that the Pope has the authority to excuse any sin. Peter is disgusted by his description and turns him away. The dialogue ends with Julius planning to muster an army to create his own paradise and capture heaven. An excerpt. Peter, a mortal god, what of sewer I smell here? Who are you? Julius, so you know what sort of a prince you're insulting? Listen a bit. The Venetians, previously not conquered by anyone, I crushed in battle. I drove the French, who were then the terror of the whole world, completely out of Italy. When I died I left 5 million ducats. Peter, madman, all I hear about is a leader not of the church but of this world, more wicked than the pagans. Julius, you would say otherwise if you had witnessed even one of my triumphs, the horses, the parades of armed soldiers, the lavishness of the displays, the triumphs, the booty, myself carried aloft like some divine thing. So you won't open, Peter, to any sooner than to such a pestilence. You yourself are a great builder, build yourself a new paradise. Authorship. Erasmus is usually credited as the author of the dialogue. He sometimes implied that he did not write it, but modern scholarship generally overrides this with internal evidence, lack of a credible alternative author, and several cautious statements in a later correspondence. Thomas More writes in a letter on the 15th of December 1516 that he has got in hold of a copy of the dialogue in Erasmus's handwriting, and asks Erasmus what to do with it. It is thought that Erasmus made evasive comments to avoid losing allies and to avoid retribution from his enemies and the Inquisition. A more logical conclusion, however, is that he denied authorship because it would be equated to a slap in the face to his patron Pope Leo X, who legitimized Erasmus's birth by means of papal dispensation in 1517. Still, the dialogue was very popular and was reprinted many times in pamphlets. It was praised by Martin Luther to be so learned and so ingenious, that is, so entirely Erasmian, that it makes the reader laugh at the vices of the Church, over which every true Christian ought rather to groan. It is very apparent, however, that Erasmus highly disliked Julius II because he felt he did not embody the characteristics of a vicar of Christ. He was shocked by Julius II's personal leadership of armies in full armor, and what he felt was the work of a worldly, unscrupulous and ambitious man. These thoughts were clearly implied in his more famous satirical work, The Praise of Folly. Citations.